Hello, I'm Max McElroy. Um, I hope everyone's staying happy, healthy, safe during this quarantine. This is actually the only time during the entire quarantine that I have dressed up. Normally, whatever I could wear to bed, that's what I'm wearing to class the next morning, so this is definitely a nice change of pace for me. Today, I'm going to be talking about the importance of nonverbal communication. And when you think of nonverbal communication, you think it's kind of secondary to the actual material, but I would actually say that it's more important than the material itself, because you really have to buy the audience's respect, and you have to get their attention. You have to also make them think that you are a professional on the topic. You know what you're talking about, and that all kind of has something to do with the nonverbal aspect of giving speeches. Basically, it's just going to be talking about the certain needs that we like, the certain steps we need to take during this, and the different ways that you can actually get the audience's attention and also get them to believe whatever you're saying. Basically, the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is the outfit and appearance, and it is so important for a presentation. Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders has been quoted saying, "If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good." It's basically the same policy here. In a study from rowan.edu, it showed that human resources professionals indicated that productivity decreases as the dress codes got more casual. When people dress more casually, it's much harder to get work done. I went to Catholic school for the last 12 years of my life, and that was a uniform every single day. And I even realized in college that my motivation and my productivity really went down because I was wearing sweatpants and shorts, the majority of the time. And even when I was doing homework, I wasn't as focused because I didn't feel like I was in a school setting. I felt very comfortable. I think it's kind of the same thing as you want to dress nicer, you want to dress like you're going to an event, and it'll make you feel not only more professional, but it also give you a different mindset going into this whole situation. When you dress nice, you feel more confident. It's a scientific fact, actually. It's been studied, is that when you look nice, when you dress nice, you feel more confident, and people also believe in you more. People respect people who dress nice. It also shows the audience that you respect them enough to make yourself look nice. Do your hair, shower, be clean, wear nice clothes. It's basically, I would say, for guys, what to wear for a presentation, basically khakis or other dress pants, button-down shirt or collared shirt. Girls, I would say, skirt, dress, kind of the same thing. Nice shirt if you wear pants with it. Basically, you want to be classy, you want to look good, you want to look sharp, but you don't want to be too distracting. You don't want to wear anything too revealing or anything, shiny or anything super flashy, because it really is just going to end up distracting the audience from what you have to say. And that's not the point of these nonverbals. The nonverbals is only supposed to enhance your actual material, but it helps give you more credibility. And the only time I would say that wearing something different is okay is if you're talking about a certain topic. So let's say KU. Now, the last presentation I gave in this class was actually about KU football and kind of how that's rebuilding and the whole process behind that. And if I would have worn this hat, it would have fit really well with the presentation, because I'm talking about KU. I'm talking about KU football. You guys are all students at KU. So it fits really well with what I'm talking about. I'll take that off. It's going to mess up my hair. Another thing is your hair. I think it's important to, make sure your hair looks good. Again, I would say only wear hats really if it's related to what you're talking about, but I would try and stay away from that just because it kind of shadow your face and block that out. But a good outfit basically would be described as, church clothes, or, if you're going to Thanksgiving with a family. But the audience can be really distracted by clothing, as I said before, and you don't want to be distracted by it. You want to just look professional. You want to feel confident. You want to look really good. It'll help give you more effect from the audience, I guess. And along with outfits, physical appearance is also important. So, like I said, showered, good hygiene. I always, there's a study from Scientific American that says smelling good can actually improve a mood, but it can also improve your performance and your behavior. So I like to say, for a little tip, guys, put on your favorite smelling cologne, girls' favorite perfume, and that'll really just boost your morale, give you a little more confidence throughout the whole rest of your presentation. And if the audience smells you, you'll smell good. So no worry about that. The next thing is good physical gestures. So hand movement, when it's under control, is actually really important in a presentation because it gives you a lot more energy. It gives the presentation a little more life than what you're typically used to. If someone is just standing here and speaking to you, you get to kind of see the different points of emphasis that they use their hands for. But you want to make sure you don't use too much of it because your hands can go flailing around while you're presenting. But if you keep it under control, it can actually really enhance the presentation compared to be a hindrance for it. I find what kind of works best is like keeping my hands right here around my torso and then using them one or another whenever I'm trying to speak, just to put a little more emphasis on what I'm saying, and just it breathes more life into the presentation. Another thing is also your stance. It's a little different because we're on screens now, but when you stand, you want to make sure you don't sway. That was my biggest problem in this, was that I swayed too much. And when you sway, it just takes away the audience's attention because they're going to be paying attention to you swaying. And you don't want that. Again, a lot of these nonverbals are basically just to not distract the audience, but still look very professional. And swaying can kind of look, it comes off as that you're nervous, and you don't want to display that to your audience. You don't want to show that you're nervous. So stance is just very important. Even pacing, I remember that one of the first days of our class, we presented to the class and there were people who were pacing and swaying, and you could tell that they were just very nervous and they didn't come off very confident. And one of the first things that Miss Benson said to us was, do not sway because you will come off as a nervous person when you don't want to be. Another thing is your posture. When you're presenting, when you're standing or even sitting down and speaking, you don't want to hunch your back down. You don't want to kind of go like that a little bit because that is shown as weakness or cowardice, and you want to stand tall and be confident and stand confident. It's more of like a look the part more than anything. You really want to play along as if you are super confident and standing straight and tall, and a lot of the time the audience will believe that. A lot of the things that you can portray without actually saying can change the audience's view of you immediately. You stand up, you're confident, you're smiling, you're dressed really nice. The audience member is already more likely to actually believe what you have to say, and you're able to have more leverage over them, and you can really say what you want to say, and people will believe you because of your appearance. And the last big point that I'm going to talk to you guys about is the facial expression. So I know there are yellows and I know there are blues in this class. Very monotone voices, which is nothing wrong with that, but their face is very stoic and it's very straight. And keeping a friendly face while presenting is actually crucial because the audience can feel engaged with the speech. Humans are very emotional creatures. We are attached to emotional things. So it's very helpful to drop a smile every once in a while. Use your eyebrows when you're talking and raise them up. I kind of do that a lot. I do that a little too much. But again, it's just creating emotion that the audience can get behind. It's a lot harder to listen to someone who is so straight-faced than it is to listen to someone who looks like they're so passionate about what they're talking about. It's a huge thing is just being able to kind of move around with your face and your hands a little bit. Because again, the audience will feel that passion, that will feel that energy, and it'll be fueled by that. The best compliment that I got in my last speech from Ms. Benson was just, you were so passionate about it, and we could tell, and we had the energy that you were giving off in the room, and the whole audience could feel that. And that's just an awesome compliment. But that's a huge goal of presenting, is you want the audience to feel that same energy. You want them to still feel so passionate about the same thing you're passionate about and really reach the audience like that, which is awesome. So that's basically the three big things about nonverbal communication that's so important. Basically just, you want to have good facial expressions, good physical gestures, and your outside appearance and your outfit. All three of those things are honestly so much more important than even the material itself, because the better you look, the better you present yourself, the more people will believe you and be inclined to believe you than if not. So even if what you're saying isn't the most accurate thing, people will just believe you because of the way you present yourself. You see it all the time in TV shows and movies when people are lying to people, but because they're so confident, people will believe it. You know that people say, act like you know what you're doing, and people won't even question you. And that's just because the level of confidence that you have in yourself is so important. And it's basically the same thing here. If you act like you know what you're doing, people will believe you, and there isn't a problem with that. Basically, it's very important to do all of these nonverbals in your presentation to just add energy, add life to your presentation, breathe life into it. It's so important, and I hope we all can kind of learn from this and grow. And it'll just set us up better for life and the rest of this class. But that is it. If you guys have any questions, just let me know and contact me. I'll put my email on the screen